Good morning, folks. It's Wednesday, the 16th of October. Just thought I'd share some strategies for test taking. I've developed an acronym that I've put in your assignment folder for supplemental resources in the test taking chapter. Start off, the acronym is TEST PREP, and the T starts for time accommodation. You know, a lot of folks, whenever we're taking tests, there's a normal level of stress that actually stimulates the brain to retrieve information and process it and crank it out for the test situation. But excessive levels of stress, if you haven't prepared well for the test, you're a little bit more nervous than normal. If you've got things going on in your personal life that provoke stress, those all contribute to you moving from the normal test-taking range that's good for your brain to a higher range that compromises the brain's functioning. So you want to avoid that excessive stress in testing situations. One of those stressors is if you don't have enough time. And for folks with learning disabilities, that's a common accommodation to provide that, give them an extra half hour, 45 minutes to be able to think through without being rushed. The E in the test prep acronym is experience. As you continue to take tests and study and develop your own methods and strategies for test taking, this all gets easier. But early on, it can be anxiety provoking. I think about adult moms coming back to school who have been on their kids for the last 10, 12 years about studying hard and getting A's and B's, and now mom's in school and the pressure's on. And I think they need to step back from that and say, okay, I understand that I now understand that it's maybe not as easy as a mom thinks it is, and that and then it's okay to not get A's all the time, and sometimes it's not even possible. The time it takes to study for examinations in 4 or 5 different courses, combined with the demands of life and family and work and that kind of thing, sometimes there's just not enough time. So you shoot for the C or the B, and you're okay with it. But do not get A-itis where it's A or nothing, because that's dangerous. It's stressful. It creates extra stress going into every single test and quiz that doesn't help. So stress is the S of test prep for the acronym, and obviously you need to be managing your stress levels in life. There's I attached in the health and wellness chapter, I believe, an acronym for stress management strategies, and those you need to employ as a student, because if you are operating under excessively high levels of stress, you won't sleep well, you won't study well, and you won't test well. And so it's imperative that you apply those stress management techniques. Team study. When you get stuck on concepts and information and ideas in your study materials without anyone else there, you're stuck. By having periodic opportunities to get with other folks and cover material, you're able to work through some of those barriers so that you're not simply stuck there and the rest of the class moves on and there you are. So study groups and team study is very helpful. Prepare for worst case scenarios when you are taking important tests, finals. The nursing students have certain critical elements that they have to perform. And it's all or nothing, do or die. And really you want to address that by saying, you know what, here's what's going to happen if I die, if I don't perform well. Here are my other options that I've thought out that are acceptable, that'll work for me. And that way you don't go into a testing situation with that kind of weight on your shoulders for performing. By having acceptable alternatives in place, you can relax a little bit, and it reduces the stress a little bit. Relationship with instructor. You know what? If I see that you are trying and improving and keeping me posted, that goes a long way. You know, there's mercy D's and mercy C's given based on whether that's right or wrong. If we know what's going on in your world and what you're struggling with and what you're doing to try to overcome, we're going to be a lot more sympathetic and understanding of your situation and in a better position to help you. So keep us posted. The E in prep is evaluate comprehension. Test yourselves before the test. Don't wait until a test to ask yourself questions or do review questions, because that's too late. And if you don't know, that's a heck of a time to find out on the test. So, you know, when I have you do the review questions in your Success in College Maximizing Performance textbook, that's an opportunity to do little mini check-ins and do I know this? Do I get this? Do I understand this? So you know, most of us, and I rarely did I go back to my review questions in the textbooks. I should have. I would have been a better student. But that's a wonderful way to be prepared for what's coming on a test. You know, you want to moderate that with what you know that the professor is focusing on. You know, if there's 100 review questions, obviously that's a lot of work and time. So you go work from your notes and your awareness and memory from the lectures about what particular areas you know the teacher's going to focus on, and that may reduce 100 review questions to 20 or 30. Purpose. If you're not behind why you're here at school, what your major is, if you're not excited about it, if you're not looking forward to that path, it makes it more difficult to endure some of the challenging hurdles and barriers that you're going to have to work through. So a visit to the career planning office to validate that, yes, I'm going in a direction that's important to me, I'm psyched about it, and this is right for me, and so I will do whatever I need to do along the way, which means there are courses that I have to take that I'm not real thrilled about, but they're a part of this important mission that I'm on, that I believe in and I'm excited about. So, you know, you want to have that purpose. It talks in your chapter. It talks about intention, and those are really kind of synonymous. Assistance. Do not be afraid to ask for help when you don't understand material or concepts. If you keep submitting the wrong stuff and you never ask for help, I'm going to hammer you. You know, first of all, it takes me a lot of extra time to continue to correct the same mistakes over and over again, and I'm gonna cop an attitude, and it's not gonna help your situation. So make sure if there's particular things that you're struggling with, that you get back to me or a tutor or someone and address them. Learning styles. You know, as you prepare for a test or as you listen to lectures in preparation for a test, you want to know what your learning style is. You want to know what your preferred ways of taking information are. And if it's audio, you know, make sure you're listening well, and if it's visual, make sure you've got charts, videos, graphs, that kind of thing. And if you're a kinesthetic learner, you learn by doing. That's not quite as easy for some of the non-doing subject matters like history. But I guess what it means is more active learning, study groups, discussions, that kind of thing. That's what a kinesthetic learner needs to do to be able to commit information and memory. They need to pull in more of the senses than just audio or visual. By the way, for learning styles, we use all of those. It's just the ones that seem to be most effective for us most of the time. And location accommodation. That's the last test prep for all. And location allows a student, if you're easily distracted and you're sitting in a classroom and you've got 50 minutes for the test and 10 minutes into the test, someone says, but beside you stands up and goes, oh, that was easy, I'm done. You're going to freak. And every single student that stands up after that is going to add to your tension and stress, because you're thinking, wow, I'm only on question 3 of 30 and there's people already finishing. I won't finish this on time. You get stressed, you get and you're setting the stage for a meltdown. So particularly students with learning disabilities or easily distractible, attention deficit, you're going to want to try to situate yourself in the classroom where you're in a corner and not seeing everybody walk by you that's done, maybe a little further from most of the noise and that kind of thing, or simply request to take the test either out in the hall or in a monitored place where there's fewer distractions and you can concentrate. So that test prep for all acronym is in the supplemental resource file of the Module 8 assignment folder. And good luck to you, and keep on trucking, folks. You're doing an awesome job, and I will talk to you soon.